What up, party people, and welcome back to my channel. So today we are testing out some new drugstore and affordable makeup of 2024. And I've got quite a few things here. Like, I'm actually pretty surprised at how much new stuff there is so far. All I got on my eyes right now is an eye primer, and then I also put on a cream bronzer in my crease. So yeah, we're gonna start with eyeliner. This is the new Revlon Color Stay Multiplayer Liquid Glide Eye Pencil. I got a black and a brown. This is a sharpening kind of pencil, and it comes with this little brush on the end like that. But yeah, let's see what it says. It says all day wear, line, blend, and diffuse, no tugging. Waterproof with brush tool, provides a perfect amount of playtime to line, blend, smoke, and diffuse into different looks. Let's start with the black shade. So this is called Checkmate. Oh, that is... Oh, wow. Very, very creamy and super jet black so far. It may not go on that way. Some things swatch really dark and they don't actually look that way on the eyes. And the brown shade is called High Stakes. So let's see. I'm always on the market for a good brown too. Oh my goodness. The test is how they wear. It doesn't matter how they swatch. As per usual, I'm going to leave these on and we're going to come back to them later on once they have enough time to dry and set down and see, like with a little rub test, if they transfer, if they bleed. Let's go into the brown one first. Okay, that, like, literally as soon as you touch it to your eyelid, just completely melts on. I'm going to go into the brush on the other side just to see how it performs and blend that out. It's like a flat edge brush and it's very long and it's very flexible, like there's a lot of give, which I normally don't like. So I'm gonna go in and build it up just a little bit. I'm gonna go into a different brush, like one of my own. I'm actually gonna pick up some of the product with my brush like this. Okay, yeah, that already made a huge difference. Like, that's already laying down so much better, and it's actually maintaining intensity versus just shearing it out and causing balding. I'm gonna go into a little smudger brush and just see how it smudges, because they act like you can really smudge this out before it sets down. And you know what? I agree. I think you got a lot of smudge time with it. I love that so far. So yeah, I am going to go into one of my own brushes on this side because I really don't like the brush that it comes with. Same thing, going to go into a different brush and pick some up. Wow, that is rich, man. That is a super intense jet black. It looks so smoky. It's one of those black tones that just kind of makes the black in your eyes, like your pupil, pop and stuff. And like, if you have any black around your rim, oh, that's a really nice black shade. I'm gonna go back into that little blending brush that I used before and do the same thing and just kind of smudge this out a little bit. If you're like me and you really like that nice, like, smoky liner look, but I'm gonna go into this little smudger brush with that brown and smudge out the black. Like, just, we're going for that smoky look. What, you know what, we're doing it. Is it too much for a just casual Sunday afternoon? Yeah. And then kind of the opposite, I'm gonna go onto this side with the black, but I'm gonna take it back on that little, like, regular angled eyeliner brush, and we're gonna be precise with this. We're gonna let that brown kind of be our, like, the smudged up smoky soft look, and then keep the black really close to the lash line. So far so good with these. For mascara, this is the Revlon Color Stay Xtensionnaire Lengthening Mascara. 2 times longer looking lashes, definition that last, lightweight fibers, build extension like length, pro vitamin B5, which is in literally everything. It must be the cheapest ingredient ever to use. Nourishes and enhances lash appearance to help support full, long, and strong lashes over time. I thought it was gonna be one of those that's like an S shape, that's kind of like, whoo, kind of curvy, and it kind of is, but it's only that way in one spot. Like, it's got a little dip right there on one side. There is what one coat looks like. So very fluffy. Like, they call this a lengthening formula. I would kind of go more along the lines of it's kind of thickening. There are 2 coats. I'm not sure if this is one I would like as much with a lot of eye makeup on. Like, I feel like this might be one that if I have a really dramatic eye look or just more eyeshadows, that it would maybe make my lashes get lost in the shuffle. I don't know. So let's do 1 coat on this side so we can see 1 versus 2. Alrighty, there is 1 coat. Do I like 1 coat better than 2? I think that's about the same. I'm not really seeing a difference from side to side, 1 versus 2. In the length department, I mainly see a difference in the volume. So is this the most lengthening formula? To me, it's not. I am seeing a little bit of a tendency to clump towards the tips of the lashes. So I usually do concealer after foundation, but I also normally don't use concealer for blemishes. I usually just do it for under my eyes. I've got a concealer stick that I think is gonna be better for blemishes. Like, I'm not sure how well it's gonna perform for an under eye concealer, so we're gonna go ahead and do it. This is the NYX Pro Fix Stick Correcting Concealer. I got 2 shades, Vanilla and Natural. So yeah, it just comes in a little roll-up stick form like this. So let's go ahead and swatch them. Also, going back to the eyeliner swatches, now that they're dry, I see glitter. Let's go right here with Vanilla, but here is Natural. That is not gonna work for me at all. So yeah, we're definitely gonna go into vanilla, but creaminess, let's start on this side. So I'm gonna go into, this is once again vanilla. Coverage, it's really covering up everything, blending very, very well. And it is maintaining the coverage as I'm buffing. So yeah, it's kind of sticking to this little scabby blemish right there. I'm sure, yeah, you can see the skin. Let's go ahead and go over on this side. I'm gonna use my finger. But yeah, look at that coverage. That's so full coverage. I'm still seeing the emphasis on my texture, which, I mean, there's not a whole lot you can do. It's there. You can't make it go away by concealer or foundation or anything. So I'm trying to be realistic as well. So there's what it looks like. Yeah, I'm not really liking how it's sitting over my super scabby blemishes. For normal blemishes, like just little red bumps that are inflamed or irritated or whatever, I see no problems in that realm. But yeah, just the ones that are really scabby, I would probably not put this on them. So now we're gonna see how this sits underneath foundation. I've been very excited to try this one. So this is the Covergirl Simply Ageless Skin Perfector Essence. So this is a like skin tint kind of foundation. Oh, I got the shade Light, which I was afraid was gonna be too light. But Light Medium, which is the one that I've been wanting. It's been out of stock for a long time. I didn't want to wait anymore, so here I am. Don't know the best way to apply this kind of thing. I feel like the hands are probably the best way to apply it, but where I've already got concealer laid down, I'm not sure if that would be the best for today. Oh yeah, it looks really gross. Looks super gross. It looks like one of those things that like it's not properly mixed together, so everything just kind of separates, but I think that's what it's supposed to look like. Going back to my eyeliner swatches, just so we can go ahead and get that out of the way. Let's go ahead and do a little rub test. This is a clean finger. It doesn't have any foundation or any product on it. So let's go ahead. Oh no, that was very little effort. I'm back with clean hands. So we're going to go into the foundation now. But the eyeliner, not waterproof. It is water resistant at best. It came off so easily. Okay, so I'm going to squeeze some out in the back of my hand. Again, so watery, so gross and separated looking. And let's just pick it up and go on this side. Oh, this might have a learning curve, but it is definitely melting right into the skin. It's kind of becoming one with the skin. Okay, so now that I've got the majority of it kind of like emulsified, I'm gonna go in and just kind of press it into my skin. And it wasn't too bad to blend out, actually. I don't think you need much. I think that I pumped out way too much for one side. Yeah, just very natural looking. I feel like once I have everything else on, it won't look too pale like it does right now. But yeah, very subtle sheen and luminosity. It just looks like skin. I do want to use a brush on this side just to see. And hopefully I can, like where I can apply lighter pressure over my blemishes, it won't pick up so much of that concealer. But I'm actually surprised at how well that blends on with a brush. I figured this is going to be one of those formulas that wouldn't blend out at all and it would just look very streaky and like show brush strokes and all that stuff, but it's not. Like it's looking, still, it looks very like glowy. It's the same amount of glow, the same kind of finish and stuff. The coverage looks really nice. I feel like I kind of maintain more of my concealer underneath. But I'm gonna go on this side and really focus on the areas where I have blemishes to build up the coverage, but also where it's really hydrating and very like, you know, fresh and glowy looking. I want to see if it kind of counteracts the textured look that my blemishes have. It looks like it's building up a little bit. Yeah, I think if you have mature or dry skin, you're gonna love this. So far, so good. Again, it's all about how it wears, but really digging it so far. I do want to go ahead and give you a time check just because we will be paying attention to the foundation especially. So yeah, right now it's 4:20. For concealer, I have another Revlon product. This is the Colorstay Flexwear Full Cover Concealer. Got the shades number 15 Light and number 26 Creme Brulee. Here is Light. I think that one's probably gonna be a good match for me. I try to match my under eyes to my normal skin tone instead of going super bright nowadays. Creme Brulee is probably going to be too dark, so let's put that right here. Yeah, that one's not going to work for me. But it feels kind of thick, kind of like Tarte Shape Tape. So let's go into 15 Light. I'm not going to use very much of this at all because just swatching it, it seems like it's going to be one that a little bit goes a very long way. So I'm just going to like put a little dot right there and yeah, blend it out pretty quick, but it does have a slight dryness to it, which maybe it's too soon to tell. I don't know. I feel like on camera, you can't really see it. Like my under eyes do look pretty flawless. So yeah, I don't think I'm gonna need a setting powder with this. I would be concerned if I had a really, really dry under eye. I gotta hurry. I'm on a time schedule, so I'm gonna make this one pretty quick. This is the Milani Cheek Kiss Cream Bronzers. I also got two shades. I got 110 Hey Honey and 120 Spilling Tea. I actually used Hey Honey, the lighter one, on my eyes and my crease. I don't think I'm gonna go into 120 Spilling Tea. I feel like this is gonna be too dark for me right now. So I'm gonna pick some up on this brush and then also tap it off over here. Yeah, I'm gonna like this. I can already tell you. I don't think it's gonna be too orange. It might be if you have a really fair complexion. I don't know if they went lighter than this. I feel like this was the lightest shade. I could be wrong. A little bit does go a very long way. Like that swatch in my hand, I'm using it for this side too, so you don't need much at all. I have no stiff issues, no blending issues, nothing like that. And it's sitting really nicely on the skin. I'm gonna go back into that brush that I used for my foundation, just kind of buff around the edges, especially on this side. I feel like my bronzer sometimes looks darker on camera. I'm really gonna make it a point to buff it out a little bit, but ooh, that looks so nice now. That's really pretty now that I kind of did a little extra editing to it. So I've got to go to town. I'll be back later to finish up the rest of the makeup, but right now it's 4:30. We're still gonna say 4:20 for our check-in time for the foundation in particular. I do have more face products, obviously, and it's kind of a wonky day. I'm sorry. I'll be back later on. So it's been longer than I expected. So I don't think a wear test is going to happen tonight because it is now, I'll show you, it is now 9 o'clock. So I guess before I move on, let's go ahead and give you an update on what I've done this far and how it's worn. Eyeliners have smudged like crazy. It is completely puddled in my outer corners and it's gone down here. Yeah. Not acceptable. The foundation still looks very good. I feel like my T-zone looks really good. Like I almost look more mattified than I did earlier. Like I feel like I kind of lost a little bit of glow, but it's not to the point of being a problem or anything. Like the area around my blemishes doesn't look that bad anymore. Like I don't think it would look this dry had I not used the concealer stick. Okay, let's see, where do we leave off? Blush. We can't do a new drugstore makeup video without talking about e.l.f. because I feel like e.l.f. is always doing something now. I don't know, e.l.f. is just very off-putting to me for some reason. This is the e.l.f. Camo Liquid Blush. I have 3 shades: Suave Mauve, Pinky Promise, and Berry Well. This is Suave Mauve. So this is a kind of plummy, purpley undertoned mauve shade. And then here's Pinky Promise. Kind of like a neon corally pink. Very pigmented, kind of intimidating. And then Berry Well. And this one was pretty dark, and I thought, oh, that might be too dark for my skin tone, but it looked like one that if you sheared it out and applied it the right way, it could probably be really pretty. I could be wrong, but we're gonna go ahead and start popping them on. Actually, wait a minute. Got another bronzer I want to show you guys. Oh, let's go ahead and do it. I got another product from Covergirl. This is a loose powder bronzer. So this is the Clean Fresh Radiant Loose Powder Bronzer in the shade Golden Hour, which I feel like we're kind of out of the loose powder face product phase. It really puts me in mind of like the Bare Minerals, what was the All Over Sun warmth bronzer. I used to work at a store that sold Bare Minerals, so I knew a whole lot about their products and how they worked and stuff, but it kind of puts me in mind of that. I'm not about the aesthetic of messy loose face powders like this where there's like 15 holes. I should have left some tape on the holes so that maybe only a few of them were exposed where they could get product out, but I mean, hindsight's 20/20. Just swatching it, it looks like it's going to be a really pretty finish. Like it looks like it has a little bit of sheen to it, but I don't see any detectable like sparkle. It added a really nice warmth and tan to my skin, but it looks really natural and stuff. Let me go back into my foundation brush and just kind of buff around the edges once again because I feel like it looks a little heavy towards the bottom. Okay, that's really not that overly pigmented like I thought it would be. It's actually a little bit more on the sheer buildable side. Very silky smooth. It doesn't feel talky or anything, which it shouldn't. It's talc free. But yeah, it feels very high end. It just, I feel like this just kind of cheapens the quality. But if you can get past that, it's actually really pretty so far. Let's start with Pinky Promise, the like neon corally pink one. So I'm gonna get a swatch on the back of my hand and work from here instead of applying it directly to my face, because if it's anything like the Rare Beauty one, then a little bit will go a very long way. I'm gonna take a clean, loosely packed stippling brush like this, really work it in there, and then just start stippling it back here. A little bit does go a very long way. These are very pigmented. It's a very pretty tone. I feel like this is probably the one that I'm gonna be most drawn to. It just looks very youthful and just very brightening of your face. It wasn't that hard to blend out or anything. It did soften and diffuse and blend out very well. Now let's go into Suave Mauve on the other side. Okay, so I don't know if this shade is going to be suitable for my skin tone. I mean, I'll be able to make it work, I'm sure. If you do have a lighter skin tone and you want to wear this kind of shade, but it's just a little bit too intense for you, then you could always mix this in with your foundation, like just a little bit of foundation, and it'll kind of lighten things up a little bit and make it just more wearable. Or if you have a deeper skin tone, then you will rock this easily. Once again, going into my foundation brush with no extra product and just kind of buffing around the edges. But yeah, it's not drying down too fast or anything. It's actually pretty easy to work with. So how am I going incorporate this one. I really want to try Berry Well as well. Let's just put it back here. Oh, dear God. Once again, probably going to be better for deeper skin tone. So I'm going to go into a couple of my brushes and just kind of knock a little of the intensity off, I guess. I mean, it seems to be good. I feel like this kind of intensity will hold up pretty well, especially if you're someone like me that, you know, face products just kind of, like your skin just eats through them. But at least you got a little bit of like extra pigmentation to fall back on when that starts to happen. For highlighter, this is the Colourpop Light Stick Cream Highlighter in the shade Glazy. It's just a really pretty, just neutral kind of champagne, like it's a really universal kind of shade. Let's go ahead and try putting this on straight from the stick and seeing if it disturbs the makeup underneath, because that is a problem, a very common problem. It's okay, there definitely is some glow and some gleam to it, but it's just kind of matte. Like it's kind of like it's almost like a dry glow. It's one of those formulas that when you buff it out, it almost turns into nothingness. Like it has a hard time staying where you initially laid it down, and it just kind of ends up in this entire area. I feel like using your fingers to apply it definitely maintains the intensity better. I do not like using a brush with this formula at all. I feel like the brush just really dries it out and does not do it any favors. But I still have that issue where it seems like the formula just wants to keep blending out and ends up all the way down here. Not bad, but just kind of meh. I don't really love it. I've had several lip products laying around that I wanted to talk about. I've had this one the longest. This one is barely new now, but I don't know, you may be still wondering about it. This is the e.l.f. O Face Satin Lipstick in the shade Standing Ovation. Very fancy, like magnetic lid packaging. Looks super high-end and bougie. I believe these are $9. Yeah, it's your basic, almost like a MAC Whirl, like an old school MAC Whirl. Let's see, I'm gonna go into my NYX Sway Matte Lip Liner in the shade Los Angeles. This is a pretty universal shade that tends to work well with all kinds of tones, especially this kind. All right, going into Standing Ovation now. Let's see. Okay, very creamy, very pigmented. It's got like a rust kind of look to it, like a rusty undertone. Yeah, it's a really nice like satin matte finish. It's not overly glossy or anything. Really pretty. Doesn't feel super dry or anything. But I got more. Maybelline came out with a plumping version of their lip glosses, which if you've been around here for a while, you'll know that the lip glosses are one of my favorite lip gloss formulas of all time. Like I keep those on hand at all times. So these are the Lip Plumper Lifter Plump Gloss with Chili Pepper. This old pinky girl right here is called Pink Sting, and this one, this little peach girl, like more of a nude shade, is Peach Fever. So here is Peach Fever, and then here is Pink Sting. So this one is more of a translucent bubblegum pink. Like it's not something that is super in your face pinky. Like it looks like it's gonna be like very bubblegum, which I don't like. So going into Peach Fever, pretty intense. It's almost to the point where I feel like my lips are kind of going numb. It really does feel like you've got like pepper residue on your lips, and they're just kind of like, actually just to show you what each one of these look like by themselves, like their opacity level. I'm gonna take this off completely. See, I'm gonna go back and reapply my Los Angeles, but my lips, even after I remove that, it's burning.
Come on, I'm burning.
Yeah, there is Pink Sting. So mostly translucent. There's just a kick of a pink color to it. But here's my problem. This lip gloss does not look that good, in my opinion, on me anyway, by itself or with lip liner, like the longer you wear it. It kind of looks like your lips are just very like greasy. Yeah, here is Peach Fever, which has more tint and opacity to it. Oh. Whew. I'm someone that likes a kick. Like I like that tingly, cooling, plumping sensation. And this is a lot even for me. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I've seen before. So lip liner is on, but it just looks sloppy and greasy. I don't think that I am personally a big fan of these. I don't know why I took that off. I'm just gonna go back into Pink Sting with no extra lip liner. So should we do a final roundup? I don't want to be redundant and say the same thing I just did about everything, but let's just do like a quick final conclusion just so I feel complete. Revlon Color Stay Multiplayer Eyeliner. No, this is not Color Stay material. The Xtensionnaire mascara. This is also no for me, I feel like. Like I've tried so much better. The NYX Pro Fix Stick Correcting Concealer. This has potential. I think that this will be a love and a favorite for a lot of people, especially those of you that do religiously cover your blemishes across your face. I want to see how this wears by itself. I want to see how it wears on top of foundation. There's just things I need to test about it, but it did look pretty dry on my scabby blemishes, so I'm not sure about it. CoverGirl foundation is probably my favorite thing from the video so far. Very pricey though. God, very pricey. The Revlon Color Stay Flexwear Full Cover Concealer. I'm not in love with this, and I don't really know why. It doesn't look bad at all. I like it, but I don't love it. Milani Cream Bronzer. I think I'm really gonna enjoy this. Like, I feel like this is gonna be a top-notch, long-wearing cream bronzer. The CoverGirl Clean Fresh Loose Powder Bronzer. Again, the messy factor bothers me. Performance-wise, it's actually pretty good. It's like 2 steps forward and then 10 steps back. Like, what gives? The e.l.f. Camo Liquid Blushes. It's good. It's especially for the drugstore. Eyeliner stick from Colourpop. I think this is going to be a pass for me. There's just too much weirdness with the blending. The e.l.f. O Face Satin Lipstick. I don't think this is going to be a keeper for me just because I'm not really a lipstick wearer anymore. Yeah, let me know in the comments below if you plan on picking up anything from today's video. Let me know if you've tried anything already and what your thoughts are. Give this video a big old thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're not already, and turn the notification bell on to always see my stuff. And I will see you guys in the next one. Mwah.